Actually, that was well. What you've got is a sort of a mythologized version of something we actually took part in. It was actually an experiment having to do with the Dream Lab in Brooklyn. A friend of ours, Stanley Krippner, is a doctor, is sort of the head of that, and there are these experiments they've been doing. They're basically sending experiments. They've done them in all different kinds of situations. So there was one circumstance where what we had was there was a slideshow going on while we were playing, and the audience was, and they even a message to the audience. There was a guy sleeping in this lab, his name and everything, and his location, and we're trying to send some of these images to him, you know. So then when we were playing, they flashed some of these images on the screen, and this is written about in a book, incidentally. There's a book in which this experiment is elucidated, and it was successful. It worked. You know, the guy received the images.
Mm-hmm. And that all ties in with the when they say the Grateful Dead aren't the people who do what they do best, or the only people that do what they do. It's funny because Bam Magazine, when they did the big interview thing with you, they kind of feel they have to justify it to all the people who give them a hard time about printing the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, right.
And they say, well, they're the only band that does improvisational rock, you know. Well, my question was going to be, in your words, what is it that you do that you're the only people that do?
Well, I don't know that we're the only people that do it, first of all. I mean, I think that it really is, that the thing that we do is part of what music is all about. And I know that some of my finest experiences as a member of an audience have been on the receiving end of similar situations in performance, you know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, the high end of music, one of the things that music is about is its ability to communicate in an extraordinary way with people, you know, and that's, I mean, that's one of the things that music is, why it exists, you know.
Well, I think so too, and it disturbs me to a certain extent to go to a concert and see a band that's on stage, which is like 3D TV. They're there and you're in the audience, and everybody can go to hell. Yeah, but when it's I remember when being a teenager seeing the Grateful Dead at the Fillmore, that the band was just one element of what was going on all around.
Right.
So you didn't have to sit there and watch TV.
Right.
You just had everything happening. And I thought, well, that's the way it should be. You know.
Us too. That's what we thought too. Yeah.
And then then you get press or people criticism like, oh, the Grateful Dead are just old hippies or dinosaurs or the concept's outmoded. But I wanted to disagree with that in a way, not only to say, yes, I'm an old fart, but to say, no, wait, there are elements like, okay, you can't have Haight-Ashbury with 9 million people from all over the country just coming to hang around.
Right.
You're going to get more takers than
the
givers.
Ecology collapses. That's really what happens. You know?
So that's all dead in that sense. But let's not dismiss everything offhand. There are things that happen then that are timeless. Now, I saw Ken Babbs talk on Neil Cassidy the other day.
Yeah.
And for me, the prankster movies, they might have been zonked on acid or they might have had 2 beers. I couldn't tell the difference.
Right.
Who cares? The point I got was, I saw Babbs, I wanted to check out where he's come from, and I saw intelligence, warmth, and a sense of humor.
Right.
And I think, well, this is what counts, and this is what maybe it was all about in the first place.
At least partly. I mean, that was a good part of it. Yeah. That's one of the things that didn't